Hello guys, Sadak Pandey here from Indian VFX School, and you are watching Basic to Advanced Flip series inside of Houdini. If you like the content, make sure you subscribe and join our Facebook page. You can also head to our website and check out our courses on Houdini, Phoenix FD, Tyflow, etc. and book yourself a 7 days free demo class. And watch by yourself how some of the students have made to the top studios in just 2 months of our course. Hello guys, welcome back to the part 5, and this is the final part. And in this part we are going to see how we can render everything and just finalize this course. Okay, all right. So as you can see, we have already got our cache and our mesh is already cached. Okay, so I will just add a null and I'll just call it out water mesh. Okay, and for our collision geometry which we were having over here, I think I just deleted it. I'll just go back into my source and I'll just take my collision geometry from here and just put it over here. Okay, so I will just use an object merge again and I'll just paste the path over here. Okay, and I will copy this null and I will use it and I will call it collision. Okay, or I can just call it crack. Okay, so we are having our crack and we are having our water mesh, and like basically these both things are the only things which we are going to render. Okay, so let me just go back and now I will just make a new geometry folders. Okay, I will make 3 of them. Okay, and I'll show you why. So let's just keep it away, the third one away. Okay, I will call water over here. Okay, and I'll call this one crack. Okay, and for the water one I will just sorry, for the water one I will just copy my water path. Okay, the water mesh path, go over here, use an object merge and paste the path over here. Okay, so we have got our water and I will just copy this object merge and I'll just go and paste it in my, you know, in my crack geometry. And in this one I will paste the path of my crack. So basically we are doing this to have everything organized in different folder, and this way we can also assign different kinds of materials. Okay, so if I go into my crack I can just paste it, uh, crack mesh over here. Okay, so now we are having crack geometry and we are having water geometry. Okay, so now let me just start with the lighting part. Okay, so I will I will only add this environment light. Okay, and this is basically an HDRI or a dome light, and I can just browse my light. So I am using this uh, Air Museum Playground, and you can just get it from Polyhaven or HDRI Haven, and you can just get them for free. All of them are free. So just go ahead. You have lots of HDRIs over there, and this will just load the HDRI. So if I click on this high quality lighting, so you can see it's going to look something like this in our viewport. Okay, so I will just turn that off. Okay, all right, so now let me just go to my render view. Okay, and just click on this render. So you can see I've already rendered it before, so I'm just cheating you guys. So I'll just do it again. Okay, so it's rendering everything now. Okay, and I'll just click on this object network and go to my output. Okay, and I'll change few settings in mantra right now. Okay, so for the finals I'm going to use these default settings, but as of now I will change the max ray samples to 3 and noise level to 0.1. So this way there will be a little bit noise, but we will have a faster rendering. So if you click on this preview, everything will get rendered at once and it will get cleared over time. This is also known as progressive rendering, but if you uncheck that you will have bucket rendering. Okay, so I will just click on this way I can see my whole scene and then I can just click wherever I want to render. Okay, all right, so now let me go into my material palette. Okay, and we will use this basic liquid. Okay, yeah, I'll just double click on this and I'll apply it over here. I can just drag and drop. This way it's going to apply this material on my mesh. Okay, and there are few things which we want to change at first. The first thing is this enable diffuse. So I need to uncheck it because we don't want any color coming from the diffuse section of our material. So that is one thing. Second, make sure your reflection is set to 1. The specular color is also like completely white. Same with the refraction. That is it. You have a perfect clear water. Okay, and let's go back. And now it's time to add, uh, now it's time to add the color in our water. And how do we do that? So in reality, the color of water, it comes with impurities dissolved in the water. It doesn't directly comes from the water itself. So sorry. So let's say when we have if we put color in the refraction, so a very common mistake that people do is like they will just go into let me show you. If you just go over here and if you start putting color in the refraction, let's say if I put it to blue, so the problem is it's going to change, yeah, it will change the color, but it's going to change the color everywhere, and this is looking more like ink. So ink water, yeah, let's say if it's ink water, that will work, but then again the ink should look more darker over here because you are having more depth. So even with the ink, so the way like when you put ink in the water, so basically you're dissolving some impurities into water and it's changing the color, and it should also increase with the depth. So here you can see it's looking here it's looking lighter and here it's looking darker, and that is just due to because it's not working properly. So we never change the color with the refraction. Okay, we will use a fog color. Okay, so basically this fog color, if you were using Arnold or if you were using V-Ray, you might be knowing that that thing is inbuilt into our normal material, but here it's not the case. So the way it works in Houdini is you need to have your this. So as I showed you, we have this our water. Okay, so what you need to do is you can just duplicate this guy. Okay, and just turn off that one, and this will work as a uniform shader, or you can say fog shader or a smoke shader. Okay, now I can go back into my material palette and you can type uniform volume. So if you just type uni, you will get it. Okay, double click on this uniform volume. Okay, and now I can just drag and drop like this, or you can also do like control C, go to your object and paste it over there. That will also work. Okay, this one I will call water and volume. Okay, I'll keep everything off. Okay, go to my uniform volume and render view, and I will just render it. And let's see how it's looking. Yeah, so you can see we are getting this smoky kind of shader. Okay, and yeah, that is what exactly this uniform volume will do. Okay, so now in the smoke color, let's say if I want to give it a color of ocean, so I can just change it to blue, or I can just make it quite dark also. Okay, and that is it. Now if I go back and if I turn on my water. Okay, and let's see how it's going to look now. Yeah, so you can see now it's looking like we are having something, a crag is walking in a ocean or something like that. And you can anytime go and increase the cloud density from here. Okay, so it's just going to have it like more dense. Then you can just play with the color and just see the way you want it. Okay, so now you can see we are having more depth over here. Okay, but the area where the liquid depth is very less, it's not getting any color. That is because uh, here there is a lot of impurities. There are a lot of small suspended particles which the light is getting refracted and bouncing and everything, but here it's not that much, so we are just getting a little bit of tint and nothing more. Okay, and that is it. That is exactly what we want. Now I can just go back to my uniform color volume, sorry, and I can change it to my original muddy color. And yeah, so this is what I used in my original settings, and maybe I'll decrease the cloud density because it's looking like chocolate or something. I don't want it to look like that. Okay, yeah, and that is it. That's working. Let me go back to my object level, and if I click on my crack. Okay, so I think this is kind of bug. I faced this before also. So just turn everything off. Okay, and just turn on your volume again. Okay, then you crack, and then your water, and it shall just fix it. So this is some weird Houdini issues. Okay, yeah. So we got this, and that is like we are almost on the end of our course. Okay. Also, you can go ahead and in the environment light maybe increase the boost of the intensity. You can also use OCIO. Okay, for as your color space, that will like make everything look even better. You will have better contrast and everything. Okay, I'm just using the normal gamma. Okay, all right. So now it's time to render it out. So I will just go to my output. Okay, so I'll just go to my output section. Okay, and in the maximum resample, I'll just put it to something like 6. Okay, and turn off my progressive rendering. Okay, and also in my noise level, I'll put it to 0.01. So this way we are going to have a clear render. And let's just render one frame and see how it's going to look. All right, guys, so we have got something like this, and I think it's looking really good. Okay, we are having a really good refraction and that volume fall off, fade off, and you can see it's looking clear over here and dark over here, and I think it's just working fine. Okay, and now it's time to render out our our sequence. Okay, so what we need to do is you can just uh, go from render current frame to render frame range. Okay, and I'll just pause it over here. Okay, in the images you can just make sure you have a camera, otherwise this thing won't work. So if you go over here, you can just put a camera from this view. Okay, and yeah, that's it. And now also there's an option to override camera resolution. So here you can just specify the resolution. Okay, so I can just render it on 1080. So if you have a supercomputer, you can do that, because Mantra needs a supercomputer to render anything on 1920 by 1080. Okay, so we have got something like this, and I think it's looking really good. Okay, and we are getting all the fall off and of the volume and everything. Okay, okay. So now here I've changed the resolution to 1920 by 1080. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the output picture section, and here you can just tell where you want to save the file. Okay. So just write the $f or whatever you want before that. Okay, and change the like extension to whatever you want to save. So I will just write .exr because that is really good. Okay, and now you can just click on this render to disk, and it will just save out everything. It will render, and it's also going to save it out on the disk. It's going to write everything to the disk. Okay, then you can just see how it's looking. All right, so that is it for our course, and it has came to an end. And the crazy part was, like, we didn't use anything outside of Houdini. Everything was inside Houdini, and any beginner can just follow along. If you had any issues, you can just ask us, or you can also go and watch the Flip Basic series on our playlist on YouTube. Just go to our channel and see the playlist. Okay, and if you want to have one-on-one training, or if you want to have live classes of Houdini where we go over Pyro, Vellum, Flip, everything, or if you are someone from the 3D background, if you want to learn animation or anything, you can just head to our website and contact us. Okay, so this is it, and we will see next time. Bye bye.